Right. Hello, friends. So happy to see all of your lovely faces here, and I'm so proud of you because you're at the morning session and you're paying attention and you're doing such a good job. You're so brave, you're so smart, you're so strong. Way to go, everybody. We love that. You're so good at things. I'm Abby again, and you get to hear more about Athens-Clarke County Solid Waste Department. Our composting arm of the Solid Waste Department is Classic City Compost. So you get to learn even more about that today, and it's going to be so fun, and you're going to be so enlightened. So to start off with, we have a whole bunch of food scraps that we take in. It's great, it's wonderful, it's lovely. We have a bunch of different feedstocks. Primarily, those are going to be, our carbons are going to be lemon leaf that are collected with a nice big blue truck with a nice claw that collects lemon leaf once every 6 weeks, now moving to every 4 weeks, from all of the houses in Athens-Clarke County. So if you own a house, you pay taxes, and then those taxes pay for this. So that is our primary source of lemon leaf. We have biosolids from our wastewater reclamation facilities, and we only get a portion of the biosolids, but it's still a whole heck of a lot of biosolids, y'all. That's just an effective use of recycling that nutrient. We love some dead tardigrades. But what we are going to focus on is the food scraps and the BPI-certified products. We take those in from about 30 businesses and organizations in Athens-Clarke County. So that might be some of the churches, that might be some of the schools, and that is a lot of businesses. We have 12 free drop sites that anybody can bring their food scraps to. I keep mine in a 5-gallon Lowe's bucket, and I say, time to bring my scraps to work. And then I dump them in the roll cart, and then they get composted. It's so much easier. It means our residents don't have to have an at-home compost system where their dog gets into it. That's me. I can't be doing that. He's really good at finding food. And we also collect food scraps from the University of Georgia. On average, we're getting about 1 to 2 tons of food scraps every weekday, and in total last year we took in, let's see, it was a little more than 2,000 tons of food scraps in the last fiscal year. Then we take it and we process it. We have a lovely compost truck provided to us through a lovely Georgia EPD grant, and that is what we use for our collection route. We have one staff member that collects all of the compost all around town. His name is Stan. He's cool. We like him. And we have 2 full-time employees named Mark and Justin. They are also cool, and we also like them. So they are the folks who make the compost. They are down in the nitty-gritty. They're doing all of the dirty work and making sure that we have lots and lots of microbes that are happy and eating and digesting and tooting out carbon dioxide instead of methane, and it's great. So at our facility, we use a combination of aerated static piles and windrows in order to, 1, chop up and mix up all of our compost with our wood. And then after that nice, beautiful windrow, we let it sit on our ASP for 10 to 14 days. And once that process is done, we are now letting our piles cure for about 6 months. And then we send it in for testing with SDA, and then we sell it to folks. It's great. People really like the compost, so it's good stuff. So we are going to chit-chat about how it matters, why in the world it matters that you're talking with your customers. Our partnerships are with, 1, the micro-haulers. We have 2 micro-haulers in the county that collect food scraps from residential zones, and 2, our customers, the people that we collect food scraps from. We want to make sure that they know what in the world they're doing, and that they know we know what in the world we're doing. So in order to do that, communication is super duper duper important. It turns out if you want people to trust you, you have to have good customer service, and you've got to talk to them, and you've got to be a whole human. And that might include things like setting clear expectations with them on what composting is, how it works, why it matters, what they need to do to make this process and partnership work. And you have to talk to them about this regularly. That means regular education, maybe a quarterly email, that might be a flyer, that might be me popping into the coffee shop to check and see how their compost is doing. Oh no, I'm out of coffee. I guess I have to check on their compost. Dang. It's a terrible, terrible thing. We also want to establish a contact person for each business. A lot of these places might have a super high turnover, so I want to check in with the owner of the restaurant, say Maypole is one of our folks. They use all compostables, and I want to say, hey, bud, how are we doing over here? Instead of talking to whoever happens to be the rotating seasonal college student that is working. By having that central contact, you're going to have a relationship, and you're going to be able to have consistency with them. You also have to try different methods of contacting them. Unfortunately, that does mean email and phone calls and voicemails, and you do have to answer those, as it turns out. I'm still getting better at that, but it does build trust when you are in communication with the folks that you're serving. But we also love a physical item. That might be these little cart tags that we pop on our roll carts if we've ever got an issue. Anybody here from North Carolina? You've got a North Carolina shirt on. I don't know if you're from there or not, but dang, okay. Well, I have stolen your state's oops tags, and I have made them our own because it was easier and it saved me a little bit of time. Thank you, Canva, for letting me edit that easily. But by being able to clearly communicate what they're doing well or what they're not doing well, we can nix communication or nix contamination immediately. Again, we got to be on that real fast, because if you allow contamination with one of your customers to continue, they're going to assume that it's okay. They're like, oh yeah, they've handpicked through every single item that I put in my cart. Absolutely, that's how this composting process works, right? Absolutely not, y'all. We don't have the time for that. Like I said, we've only got 2 people working on the compost pad, and that is just a whole lot of money and time we don't have. So by having clear evidence that there is contamination, such as this whole bunch of macaroni in a plastic bag, we can show them what the issue is and how to fix it. One thing that I super duper recommend is talking to people. People really like people, and if you come on site and talk to them, they're going to be like, oh, this is an actual human being that I am working with, and turns out they do know what they're talking about, and it's not just the mean email lady. It is a nice lady who also sends emails that can sometimes be curt. Whatever gets the job done, do what you gotta do. We got multiple methods of communication, again, but coming and talking about how you can nix contamination is super duper effective, can confirm. And worst case, you say, hey, do you want to come take a tour of the compost facility? Do you want to look at a bunch of rotten stuff? And they're going to say, absolutely, that sounds like the best time in my life. And then they have the best time of their life because they get to look at ASPs and tire loaders, and it's cool. Everybody loves looking at the trommel screen run. It's fun. But that's also a super great way for you to say, and this is why plastic doesn't break down. And yes, it is important that you do not put your beer bottles in the compost bin, my guy. Please, please, it breaks in the trommel screen. But they kind of get it after that point and are way more likely to say, okay, this does not go in here. And that goes for any waste facility, be it the MRF or the landfill or the compost pad. But we also want to reinforce positive behavior. We want a little attaboy every now and then, because again, if I'm only in contact with them because they screwed up, I'm still going to be the mean email lady, and I don't want to be the mean email lady. So I want to say, hey, your compost looked really good today. I'm so proud of you. Not in a condescending way, but in like a genuine, you're doing so well kind of way. Another way that you can kind of build trust with your customers is promoting compost use. They want to know that the food scraps that they are giving to you are being turned into a cool soil amendment. It really helps for you to visually connect the food scraps with the finished compost, and a great way that we like to do that is with a compost giveaways. That might be through farmers markets, that might be through special events like International Compost Awareness Week. As you can see, I just put a tarp down in one of our trucks, I load it with compost, and I say, here's a compost bin or a bag, or bring your own bucket, and I give them as much as they can shovel in. It's incredibly effective because I can also hold up a banana peel and a BPI cup and say, look, these turned into that through microbial magic. Isn't it awesome? And that is super duper effective. We also love a coupon. So I have a big fat sleeve of coupons. They're little business cards that say you get 1 cubic yard of compost for free. So I dole those out like candy to children, and people really like it. It's incredibly effective because people, again, can see that the product that they are helping you make is super important. It proves the quality, proves that it works, and it helps everybody say, oh, this is actually a real thing. We also have a demonstration garden over at our office. Over at the bottom here, you can see one side is grown with compost and one side is grown without compost. And this helps prove that it's not just, a pretty pile of, soil-looking stuff, but it proves that it actually makes a difference in plant growth and soil health. Also, for funsies, we really like to have a good bit of social media. It helps prove that we are people and not just, again, mean email lady. So we get a little bit silly with it. It helps to build ethos, and it is a great opportunity for educating our community in ways that are a little less traditional and a little more fun. So at the end of the day, the best ways to build trust are going to be transparent, talk to your folks. Good customer service, unfortunately, it is super duper important, so that means we have to try and be cool with our customers and build those relationships. And we also don't want you to tell them that they are breaking down their organic matter through microbial growth and it's, aerobic decomposition. They don't care. Show them the process, show them how it works, and they are way more likely to trust you and continue forward with that relationship. So that is all we've got. On to the next.